That's just the truth. Okay? And what I mean by that is, you know, like I said, you've got 10 minutes in front of these judges. And that's the time that you make the sale. You do it right there in those 10 minutes. Because that's when they really, really get to know you. Yeah, they get to see you when they get to see you in all the things on stage. And all the things, those things are extremely important. You close the sale each time in each category that you know you're on stage. But you start the ball rolling in the interview. And it's so important. Okay? And okay, so let me just tell you. Okay, so there's three things that compose interview. One is presentation. I've got a handout for you on the presentation. I'll give it to you in just a second. Presentation, content, and connection. All three are equally important. Let's talk about presentation. That's obvious.
I lost my head. Team can test at moms or actually can be with your teammates. I think all the heroes in here.
Oh yeah.
But team,
Yeah.
play more over there.
Okay.
Hurry y'all. You'll be happy. You'll get
Okay. Where was I? Oh, all three are equally important. Okay, let's talk about presentation. What is that? Well, basically, how you look, you know, how you present yourself, how comfortable you are in this situation. Okay? Are you scared to death of this interrogation that's about to happen? You know? Or are you comfortable in any situation that you, even in this adverse, you know, circumstance or unnatural circumstance of these 7 weird people sitting in front of you or about to, and, you know, find out about you, and you're sharing yourself with these strangers, right? Are you good with that? Okay? That's all part of presentation, how you present yourself. Content. What do you know? And what do you have to say? That's the main important thing is, you know, do you have anything to say? And this is the point. Okay, so then presentation, and then connection. And connection is so important. This is where you basically get them. This is where you can show that you can relate to people, that you can capture them and they can hang on to you and be into you. It's basically, you know, connection is like, for me, when I judge a pageant or anything, it's like, if my mind wanders and I want to be somewhere else during this interview, the connection has not been made. Okay? And if the 10 minutes comes and it's like, oh wait, you know, I got more I need to know from her. It's the connection. It's just like real life. You know, you go to a party, you meet somebody, and you want to talk to them, and you just don't want to ever leave them because they're, you know, you just made a connection. It's the same concept, but you're doing it with 7 people in front of you in a chair. You know, it's you know, I'm not saying all of this is easy because I know it's not, and especially someone of your age, it's not. Okay. All right. Let me. I guess I'll just pass these out now. This is just kind of an outline that says some things. Oh, just let me get here. Why don't you guys do that? Well, yeah. Why don't you do that over here? Will you do that over here? I think that'd be enough. It's not. I got more up here. Okay. This is just an outline of just what I just said, so that you can just kind of always keep it and just know I gotta work on these things. Okay. Presentation. Let's talk about that. Do you need more? Yeah. Okay. So this is the first impression. This is it. When you walk in that door, they determine if you can be Miss Texas. You know, first component, you know, that all of us do as people is we look at someone, right? And unfortunately, that's what it's, you know, that's what we do. We look at someone and we go, okay, she's a candidate by how you present yourself physically, okay? By what you wear, by what, just your manner. And that is also so, in that presentation area of the comfortability, it all goes together. It's all one thing. I'm comfortable with how I look, who I'm presenting myself as, okay? And I would just say to you, wardrobe-wise in this area, and generally, I'm going to go into wardrobe later, way later, but generally speaking, when you, in an interview, you got to show them physically that you're put together and that also your body's in shape to be in Texas. You don't want to have them have any doubts. Okay? We're going to talk about that too later. Okay? All right. Content. It's how much you know, how much knowledge you have about the world, how much, how smart you are, or whatever. But it's also a wonderful opportunity to continue your narrative, to establish your narrative in your answers, and to what I call paint the picture of who you are. Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say the question is, do you think that we should have, stricter regulations on registering guns? Okay, that was the question I got. I can say, well, yes, I do. I do think that we need to. Okay, I answered the question. Okay, and I gave my opinion, and it's yes. And okay. Now, for you to take advantage of this 10 minutes that you have, you can paint the picture of who you are. Okay, and so this is actually my personal story. I would say, I was raised in Texas, and as a little boy, I got a BB gun, and my mother was so afraid that I was going to shoot my eye out. But my dad taught me how to take care of it and gun safety. And in 6th grade, I had a classmate who was killed by another classmate while they were playing with their dad's gun. And that has affected how I've felt about guns for the rest of my life. So yes, I do believe that we need to have stricter gun regulations for registration for mentally ill and for criminals. And we need to have more certification on gun safety. Okay? So, what that did, it took you back to when I was a little boy. Don't think about it. When I was a little boy, and I painted the picture of more of my life, right? I expressed to you more of who I am. And you can do this with any subject, okay? You can do this with, immigration. Well, I went to school with 2 kids that are now on the doctorate program, and I'm so happy for them that they get to live, okay? Things that relate to you. So when we all, I'm going to study current events. Everybody goes, oh, you better be up on current events. Yeah, you do. You do need to. But you also need to know how those current events involve you and affect you. Okay? So I say, if you're making a little notebook or however you study for interview, if you want to, get all your facts and put them in a notebook, or if you have index cards or whatever you do, whatever your method is, you also need for that category to have how it affects you. Every subject you need to know how it affects you. Okay? And in your mind, when a judge asks you a question, or when anybody asks you a question, whether the question is, like I said, gun control or immigration, what are your thoughts on immigration? In your mind, you should always think that also what they have said in that question is, what's your thoughts on immigration and how does it affect you? Okay? So that you will always know that I've got to tell, I've got to reveal who I really am through my answers. So by the time you get through this 10 minutes, you have shown them enough about you, and have painted a picture of you, of who you are, and who you are now, or who you have been in your past, and who you want to be in the future. It's like I was talking about the narrative. You have created all of these things that have gotten you to where you are now, and you have been able to express that to the judges, no matter what the questions are. A lot of girls come out of interview, oh, they only ask me about my platform, or they only ask me current events, or they only ask me this. Well, okay, that's what they're controlling it. They get to do what they want to, but you also get to control it, because you can take the opportunity to share yourself in that way as well. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that blow some people's minds, or is it just, yeah, I know what you're doing. All right, okay. All right, so at the bottom of your page it says, the judges will be asking themselves, does she present herself as Miss Texas? And that's that first time you walk through the door, right? Does she have the skills to speak in front of any audience? In other words, does she use good grammar? Does she use proper grammar? Is she going to embarrass us by what she says in front of people? Or, does she have problems speaking? Is she nervous? Any kind of thing like that. And will her personal story connect with audiences of all ages? And that's where our narrative comes in. Okay? All right? Now, I always want you to remember that. I personally, as a judge in the state pageant, can forgive a lot of things, but I was going to say mediocrity, but that's not the right word. Trying to be something you're not, I can't forgive. Because I mean, lack of a better term, you can smell fake. And a lot of people go, oh my gosh, but I'm afraid what I'm gonna, if I say the wrong thing, I may say the wrong thing, or I may not. Okay, yeah, you might. But the only way you're not gonna say the right thing is if you live your life right now saying the right thing, right? If you start from this moment, or hopefully you have before, saying the words that you need to say, properly, and also living, I don't want to say living your life as if it's an interview, but living your life so that when you are up there, you're not afraid that you're going to say the wrong thing. And if you do say the wrong thing, it's okay, because you know it, and it's part of who you are, and either you laugh about it, or you correct yourself, or whatever, and it doesn't throw you. That's the big thing, oh my gosh, I just said that, I just said ain't, okay, no, and then now you're in that, and you can't go through the rest of it, you know what I'm saying? Okay, all right. Any questions about interview? It's I can't stress it enough. It's the most important thing. This is what you need to do to work on it. First of all, the only way you get to be a better speaker is to speak. Okay? So take any opportunity, any advantage, any time that you can. If you can get into a school to talk to children, if you can get into any kind of business clubs to talk to adults, anything like that, talk to everybody, anybody. Talk. Okay? All right. Now, there are several methods that you can do to prepare for interview, and a lot of people do what we call mock interviews, where you get some people to kind of simulate the situation, and you go in and you do practice interviews, and those are good. Those are good, just so that you're used to the form. You're used to the format, and you get used to that kind of give and take. However, you need to go way deeper than that. They're not going to you know, that's good for format. But you also need to have group discussions with people that you trust about subjects. And you know, if you're wanting to, you know, first of all, you've got to identify with what's going on in the world right now, you know, and what is happening in the world. You know, the major things that are going on. You know, like I said, immigration, the ISIS problem in the Middle East, politics, all the things that are happening right now. You need to know about those, and you need to know some facts. You need to know all of that. And once again, it's like you also need to know how it affects you. So, if you have trouble or if you have questions, you need to gather yourself a group of people that can be your intellectual posse, or that can help you with these areas. And I call them discussion meetings instead of like mock interviews. If you get around and you throw out a subject and somebody talks about it and somebody else talks about it, you take all that and then you decide what your opinion is and then how it affects you. Okay? And those can help you almost way more than mock interviews can. Okay? And also, I say that you need to do speeches about any subject, about anything at any time. And your directors or your parents or whoever say, okay, give me a minute and a half speech on ISIS. And you talk for a minute and a half about ISIS, how it affects you, what's going on with it, state some facts, all of that. Do that and so what you have, so you've done that speech. So when you're in that interview room, those things that you said in that speech come to you, and you can form them in, you know, two sentences instead of a minute and a half. Okay. Anything else about that question? Yes. Yes.
All of your judging experience, what has been like the most memorable interview that you've ever had? Like, I know you said you watched Miss America's interview, but like person to person.
Person to person.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if this really is, but this is the one that came to my mind, so I guess it is. I judged Miss Kentucky. Well, for good or for bad? Either one.
Yeah.
I better say good. Well, but I'll say the bad too, but it was also good. It was good bad. Okay. All right. I judged Miss Kentucky, and the girl that actually won, she was, and I guess the best way to say it is that she was free to make mistakes, you know. And I personally asked her a question. I think I asked her the question that, you know, at that time it was like she was wanting to be a lawyer. So at the time I said, you know, a survey said that young women knew all the names of the Kardashian sisters, but knew none of the names of the Supreme Court justice. And you name all the Supreme Court justices. And she couldn't. And she named, you know, like one, two, and not all the Supreme Court, but the female. And she started, and she couldn't. She was like, and then she was like, well, you know, but the Kardashian sisters are, and then, you know, and she started naming those, and we all laughed, and it was great. It was great, and it broke the, you know, it was fine. And so she made a mistake. She didn't know, but she just said that. And when we went on, we did other questions, and her time was up, and so she did her little closing, and then all of a sudden, a light bulb went off in her head, and as she turned around, she looked right at me, and she said, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and she was out the door. And so there was that. Same pageant, actually. This young lady, I'm trying to figure out how to nice. This young lady, she was dark. She was from a very, very, very rural, poor part of Kentucky, she, no, she was very sweet. And I asked her, sometimes I ask this question of, okay, name me your favorite movie. Name me, I call it the lightning round. Name me your favorite movie, name me your favorite TV show, name me your favorite singer. You know, just boom, boom, boom. And so she said, who's the first one? And then I said, okay, so now, what does that say about you as a person? And so I can't remember what her TV show was, but her movie was Taken. And, you know, the Liam Neeson thing about kidnapping. And, okay, so that happened. Now, beforehand, another judge asked her what her biggest fear was. And she had said, I have a fear of being kidnapped. And then she said Taken was her favorite. So it was funny. That was just a moment that I could share that. But no, she was gone. But there's things like that, and usually for me, because I'm hard. I'm not easily entertained. You know, I'm jaded, and I'm sorry, and so I enjoy the lighter, real moments that you show the real person. You know, it's not necessarily to me. You know, content is very important, but for me as a judge, it's more about connection and how comfortable you are. You know, that's it for me. But that's me. But there are 7 other people. You know, there could be some, you know, really brainiac person that's gonna hit you on content, you know, that thinks content is important, or someone else that thinks this is important. You know, and that's the thing about this whole pageant. And everything I say to you today, you know, basically comes from my opinion. I'm trying to make it general for you, but basically it's my opinion. And you know, there's 7, you know, 6. There would be 7 people that's going to have their opinions. Okay. All right. Let's talk about obviously an important part of the Miss America system is our platform. Okay. I think I said earlier that I used to be the platform guy, and I kind of still am. My sister is the business manager of Miss Texas. I don't know if you know her, Susan Schuler. And so, because I'm her little brother and she bosses me around, I always have to help her do things with Miss Texas. So I still do platform. Here, I'll do my helpers. Let me. Thank you. All right. Awesome. Okay. All right. So, platform. Your selection of your platform and what you do with the platform is an excellent way to continue your narrative, and it can be a huge part of your narrative, of who you are. You know, when I judge a pageant, it's very important to me because, you know, first of all, it's possibly like my favorite part of the whole pageant is the platform stuff. And it also just tells me so much about the person, you know, what they're interested in, how much work they've done, how much involvement, how they care about it and what they know, and how much they care to know a lot about it, you know. Okay. So it's an awesome way for them, you know, for you to express who you are. Okay. Let's just go through this list. I like to say that the platform you really need to treat it as if it's a senior project, okay? Like a senior thesis to you. You know, you need to have a book, you need to have done research, you need to have all, you know, it's a senior project, okay? And here's some things to think about. Okay, so your mission statement. I mean, what do you want to do? You know, what do you want to accomplish with this? What are your goals with this? Okay? Your personal involvement. You know, what's the story? Why is this important to you? Why have you chosen this? And then why are you uniquely qualified to talk about this? Okay, and this is a very important thing. You know, let me just use Monique's platform. Monique's platform is heart health. And her basic story is that her brother was born with a heart defect. And then her father, some years back, had a heart attack and flatlined, but made it through. Her mother saved his life with CPR. So that's her immediate connection to that, okay? So when I was working with her, you know, it's like, okay, so here's the deal. You're not a heart surgeon. You're not, you know, an expert. You want to be a doctor, but you're not one yet. You study nutrition. Okay, so those are the things about you. So what's going to be your unique message about this plan, you know? And so we came up with, you know, she would concentrate on preventative healthcare and proper nutrition. She's a nutrition major. And use that as her expertise, okay? All right? So whatever your platform is, you know, you're more than likely not going, I mean, there's going to be somebody somewhere that's going to know more than you, okay? But in that interview room, unless there's a heart surgeon or someone like that, you know, on the panel, you've got to be the person that knows the most about your platform. You need to be the authority in the room on your subject, okay? And you need to have a point of view with that. You know, why am I an expert about this? You know, this is, or in this area of this platform, this is why I'm the expert. You know, okay? Like I said, point of view, what are your qualifications and what can you realistically accomplish? And that's just basically what I was just saying. You know, all of those things together. You know, why is it you talking about this, and why should I believe you, basically? Okay. All right. Now then, it's very important for you to get yourself involved with organizations, because when you win Miss Texas, the next day we're going to start calling organizations to try to get you booked for, you know, within your platform. And we want to call the American Heart Association and say, hey, Monique Evans just won. She's your girl. How can you help us? You know, she speak for you, and can you give us, you know, whatever? Can she be involved with your organization, or if she already is involved, can she come speak to you? All that, okay? So you need to find and know national, state, and regional organizations that you can work with, okay? And it is very important. And if you do win Miss Texas, before you go to Miss America, it is imperative that you have a national organization affiliated with your platform, because that's the first thing that they will ask too. You know, when you win Miss America, it's, well, who do you work with? You know, who can we call? Okay. All right. So then you've done all this. You've gotten your book together. You've done research. You've done all this stuff. Okay. So what do you have to say about all this? You know, what's your message? What are you going to say? And so you've got to have messages for kids. You know, as Miss Texas, you're primarily going to speak to thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of children in school. Okay, so you got to have a message within your platform for all ages of school children. Okay, sometimes that's easy. Monique's is easy. It can be adapted. You know, for any age group. You know, eat healthy, exercise, blah 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 is good for any age. Ivana, the year before, her platform was HIV/AIDS. So it was a little more, you know, we had to come up with an appropriate message for children, you know, and we decided on self-respect, making the right choices, things like that, you know. And then you need to have a message for adults as well, for business groups, you know. And most of that usually is about fundraising. You need to have a fundraising aspect of your platform, you know, so that you can go to business groups and basically represent yourself in this platform or an organization to help raise funds for them or to get their message out to adults, okay? And then you need to think of, when you win Miss Texas, the next day, well, Monday morning, you're going to get up bright and early, and you're going to go downtown to Victory Park, and you're going to be on Good Morning Texas. And so you got to have a message that's going to reach a vast television audience, okay? And as Miss Texas, preparing for Miss America, it's got to be more vast and bigger and bigger before you go to Miss America, because if you win Miss America, you're on every national television show, you know, okay? So that's what you got to be thinking about the platform. Any questions about any of that? Yeah, go.
Okay, with the organizations, do the relationships already need to be built before entering?
It would help you. I think it would help
but
you.
Does the organization also help with building those relationships and I guess?
It can go both ways. You know, it can go both ways. I mean, you know, when I was doing the platform stuff years ago, the first thing I would say is, you know, okay, you're interested in this. This is your platform. Okay, so who can we call? Who can give you more knowledge, and who can you help? You know, and by getting involved with, you know, on a local level or even the state level with an organization, they're gonna give you knowledge, which will help you be more of an expert, and then also you will give them help by having this title and having this opportunity to spread their message. You know, you could be a voice for that organization as well. So yes, I highly suggest that you get involved with organizations, because it would be wonderful if we can call and say, hey, Desiree just won this thing. You know, I know she's worked with you. Can we get her into, you know, okay? Any other questions about any of that? No? Not one, really? Okay. Okay. Are y'all okay? We need to do a little breaking. This actually would be a good time to do a break, I think. Because then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna talk about the stage stuff, you know?
Yay!
Yeah, everybody goes invite me in. I got there and I didn't know one person there. And so I was, you know, standing around and I was talking to me, you know, not my crowd. And I was like standing around, and finally I just, you know, went up to someone and I just started talking to them and asking them things about them. And, you know, what do you do for a living? Blah blah. And, oh, that sounds interesting. And blah 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 blah. You know, 3 or 4 people like that. And then, you know, I did my time and I said, oh, I'm getting out of here. So I went home and thought, you know, well, that's an hour and a half I'll never get back. And that was that. The next day, my friend who invited me called me and he goes, well, you were the head of the party. And I go, oh, what, really? And he goes, oh, yeah, people just couldn't stop talking about you. They thought you were so interesting. And not one person asked me one question about myself. Not one person even knew my name. They never asked me what I did for a living. They never asked me anything about me. I did all the questioning, and I listened. And it was a big light bulb moment for me in my life, where I said, you know what? To be interesting, you got to be interested. And that is something that Miss Texas has to be always. You just got to, people want to tell their stories. And I saw a thing on Oprah one time. It was her last show. And she goes, people just want to be heard. And it's a great thing for us to keep in mind, especially you who are, you know, even now are celebrities in your own way. And if you're Miss Texas, you're certainly going to be a celebrity. That someone gets a chance to talk to you, they just want to be heard, and they want you to be interested in them. and then they will think you are the most wonderful, interesting thing ever. Okay? And another thing about interview is I have this little thing that I call include me. And what it means is that I'm going to include you so that you will listen to me. Okay? So in other words, it's like, I don't know about you, but it drives me crazy when people don't put their shopping carts back in the little thing in the parking lot in front of the grocery store. I don't know about you, but does it drive you crazy? Yeah, see, it does. So, and you're still going to listen to me because I'm now, because I have you, and you're still listening. All right? You are. Right. See, I'm not talking, but I know you're looking at me. So if you include someone directly, they're going to stay with you. Okay? Which leads to my next thing, which is about on-stage questions. Okay? Just an FYI, you will be doing the on-stage question in your opening number dresses. Just because I know all y'all think that's one. Okay? All right. Okay, so as of right now, and this will be confirmed by the time we have our spring workshop, but as of right now, more than likely, your question will be platform related. Okay, so that's easy, because you better know your platform, right? We've already gone through that, why you need to. Okay, all right. So what you should do. You need to, like, if anybody ever asks you about your, even like some normal person, normal meaning, not if they ask you, well, what's your platform about? You need to have a 2-sentence answer anyway, well, it's about blah, 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 because I blah, 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 okay? So you need to have some things, some bullet points already planned out that you can talk about your platform and that can be related to any question that is asked. Okay? Now, on-stage question is called on-stage question and answer. It's not on-stage question and statement. You've got to answer the actual question. But you can also, more than likely, you can use those bullet points that you have about your platform. Those points that are important that you need to get across in your answer. So in other words, if the question is, why did you choose this platform? And you just go into, well, my platform is, heart disease is the leading killer of females in the country. That's your answer. Well, that's not your answer because you didn't answer. You gave a statement, right? The right answer is, well, congenital heart disease is in my family. My brother and my father, have heart issues, and it's always been an important issue in our family. So I feel like I'm, well versed in the subject to share a message of healthy heart and healthy living, blah, 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 and go through your point. Okay? You gotta answer the question, whatever it is, and then you can get your point. Now, once again, using my little include me, some good tips is, I think everybody in this audience can agree that, we all need to live a healthy lifestyle. All of us are affected by heart disease. The person sitting next to you right here, or something like that. The person sitting next to you is affected by heart disease. Everybody, we all, So you see what I'm saying? Include others in your answer. Don't just state some facts and answer the question. Let this be a moment for you to share and include them so they'll pay your audience. And that is always a good technique to use also for when you're giving speeches or addressing anyone. Make it personal for them so that they will listen to you. Okay? All right? Because I want everybody to listen to me. That's my goal in life. That's my narrative. Okay. Any questions about on-stage question and answer?
I know what the opening number outfit looks like.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Do we get to see?
Not today. I'll give you a hint. And there's two pieces.
What? Ah. What?
And you get to decide which one you want to wear. That's awful. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's talk now about swimsuit. I know. Okay. Swimsuit competition. All right. Okay. I'll just start. Okay, it is, it's 15% of your score, but that's a lie. It's really 100% of your score. And the reason why I say that is because, remember when in an interview, the first time you walk in that door and they go, oh, she can be Miss Texas. It's because her body's in the best shape that it can possibly be in. And I'd say, for me as a judge, it's 100% for me. Because if you think about it, in an interview, you can have people helping you with information and telling you what to do. You know, somebody's told you what to wear and all that. An evening gown, you know, somebody's picked this evening gown out for you and said it's good. And in talent, you know, they've helped you, you singing and you know, they've picked out your costume and they've helped all of this. But in swimsuit, it is 100% you. It is all about you. Nobody can help you. Nobody can shave, you know, that little extra off your legs. Well, they could, but that would be painful. Nobody can get you in that gym, you know, make you go to that gym. They can make you go, but they can't make you work out, you know. They can't make you stop with that enchilada, you know, put that enchilada down. You know, they can't. This is you. This is all you. And it says everything about how dedicated you are and how much you want to be this thing. Everything. And, you know, let's face it, you know, you entered this pageant and swimsuit is a portion of this pageant. And so you got to do it. And it's really, really, really important. Extremely important. And because also now, Miss America's in September, you'll have 2 months to be ready to be on national television in a two-piece swimsuit in front of millions and millions and millions of people watching you. Okay? If that's not motivation, there's nothing that's going to motivate you. Okay? Okay? Nothing. And I just can't stress it enough. And I know it's the hardest thing in the world. You know, for some people, it's hard. And we all have issues, you know. I've got to do a little something for the pageant myself. Right? I got to put down this one. And it's hard. I know it is. But it's very important. Shoot, I had a real good thing and it left me. Okay, let's just talk about some solutions, you know, some things. You know, mainly, I mean, I know probably you all know this, but just because I feel like I need to say it, I'm going to say it. You know, it's exercise, but mainly it's food. Almost for everybody, it's food intake. And, you know, you're going to have to sacrifice. You're just gonna. If you want to do it, you're going to have to sacrifice. You're not going to, you know, I said, you know, you're not going to be able to eat enchiladas. You're just not. You're not gonna be able to drink that Diet Coke, even though it's diet. No. You know, you're not. And, you know, you're gonna be hungry until July 6th. You are. July 5th. Or July 4th at 12 p.m. You go get you some pizza. You know? You're going to be. But you gotta do it healthily. You have to do it healthily. And you gotta find somebody that can really guide you well in that direction. If you have issues, you gotta do it. Okay? And I don't care if you think, oh well, I'm good already in swimsuit. No, you're not. You're not. You're not good until the moment you walk out onto that stage. It's a dedication and it's a work and dedication until July 4th at 10:30 p.m. when the time is over. It's a dedication until that time. Okay? And I'm just giving you the nitty gritty. Okay? I'm saying it like it is. Alright? And to give you a little more motivation, our set, we're going to have a runway that's going to go out into the audience. Cool in a swimsuit.
Stairs?
Huh?
Stairs?
There's some stairs.
8 of them?
Huh?
8 of them?
You will have help.
Don't be a
Don't worry about the stairs because we have help. But we have a V-shaped runway that will go out into the audience. So just keep that in mind. And then also I've got a video wall up on the set this year. And what we're going to do at our very first rehearsal on the stage, you're going to be getting into your swimsuits and your evening gowns, and I'm going to be taking photos of you. And those photos are going to be about 12 feet tall of you in your swimsuit.
When were those the first day of
Of this week, yeah, no, tomorrow. Well, right now, actually, I've got a photographer coming. Yeah, okay, no photoshopping going on.
That's crazy.
It's a raw, real deal, okay? So that's your motivation, okay? And it's important, and I know it's hard, and I know, and even, you know, look at, I got skinny slave and show business, but I know it's hard, okay? I know it's hard. But it's the deal, and if you want it, you gotta do it. And I'll just tell you a quick story. I don't know if you know who Morgan Matlock is. She was Miss Texas in 2005, 65. And I've loved Morgan forever, and she competed in the team, and she competed forever, and I just love her. And she always had some issues in swimsuit. You know, not bad, but she had hip, and you know, I mean, she never ever got it there. She never went all the way. And she was so great in everything else, and you know, she got first runner up, but you know, she wasn't going to win because she couldn't go to Miss America like that. She just, you know. And I told her she came. It was her last year of eligibility, and I told her at the spring workshop. I said, Morgan, this is it, and you got to do the thing. You got to do it, or it's not going to happen. And she cried a little bit. She goes, I know, and I know, and it was. I felt a little bad, but I said, you know, this is it. This is the time. This is it. And she showed up to the pageant, and we did swimsuit check. And I don't know, did y'all do that last year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think we have to do it this year, but back then we did. So all the girls were lined up, and there she was, and she did.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost started crying. I just looked at her, and I just almost started crying. And I'm like a little teary right now. Because she did it. And you know what? I mean, to this day, she's had 2 children, And to this day, she could be in a swimsuit. Because she figured it out, and she knew, and it was important to her to dedicate herself to do it, and she did it. And that's what you got to do. You got to do the thing, and that means all the way, all the way. This is your, think of this. This is your Olympics, okay? And you're going to the Olympics, and you got to be in the best physical shape that you could possibly be in. Now, all of us, I always say, you do not have to win the swimsuit. And most people, our bodies are what our bodies are, right? And, maybe our proportions are not right and all that. And that's okay. You do not have to win swimsuit, but you cannot lose swimsuit. Okay? You cannot lose swimsuit because then that's going to be that's going to be that one thing, one thing. And as a judge, I've seen her, I've loved him in an interview, and I've loved, and then you go, oh, why not? Why not? And I know it's hard, but do it. Do it, okay? And you do know that you all have to wear Jamie Shaw swimsuits, right? You know all about all that, okay? And you order them through Shimmer, okay? Any color, any style. But I always say, with any kind of clothing or anything, you can get the fanciest swimsuit that you want, and you can have the blingiest bling on it and the whole thing. But if your body's not where it's supposed to be, you're going to get the same score as you would if you had a plain swimsuit. And it's the same thing with talent or evening gown or interview. You can have the most expensive interview suit, interview dress that, Prada, $3,000, But if you can't communicate, you might as well have had, $15 dress from Target. It's the same concept, It's the content, not the packaging. Okay? Now packaging helps, but it's the content in each category. Same thing. You could have the most expensive dance costume that you've ever seen, and it has feathers in it. And it is this. And you don't practice, and you can't, your talent doesn't work, then you're going to get the same scores if you went to Target and got a leotard.
Oh.
You're going to. So it's the content. Okay? Any questions about swimsuit? No? Okay, now that I've been a total down.
So you said there will be stairs, but there will be someone helping us
Yes,
downstairs?
you're going to thank me, FYI. Because I always work for you girls, always do. And I've got 4 really hunky models. You're welcome. That will be helping you downstairs in swimsuit and in evening.
They're gonna like it.
Well, don't count all of them, okay? You never know. There's always a chance.
Do we have sarongs or
No sarong. That's sarong. However, I say that. I'm going to provide some for you maybe for the final night, but in the prelims, no. Or in the modeling section, no. Even on final too, you won't.
Will there be a final look in swimsuit where all of the
On the prelims.
On the prelims, there will be a final
Look.
swimsuit.
Okay,
and then will each night we all appear in swimsuit regardless of if we're competing in swimsuit or
not on prelims. But on the final night, everybody will be in their swimsuit, and the ones not competing I'm probably going to provide it. Okay.
Like we'll be on stage, or
Huh?
like we'll be on stage, or
Be on stage what?
yes, during final night.
Final night, everyone will walk the runway in in swimsuit, probably with sarongs if you're not in the top.
Like as a production number type thing.
Okay, yeah. It will be basically replace the final review that we do on prelim. It will be the final review, but it will be all.
And then, as far as last year, we all appeared at the end of each prelim night in our competition for whichever
Yeah.
competition we were in. So this will be the same.
You're jumping the gun.
Oh,
but yes.
sorry. Just planning
I
ahead.
think we're doing it.
Yeah.
Wait, is it the gold? Oh, yeah, gold.
You're
It's
jumping
the
the gun,
goal.
but the question is, you will not be in your competition outfit. Except eating out. You'll have another eating out. But we're good. All right. Okay. What's that? Oh, talent. Okay, let's go on. Okay, it's hard to talk about talent because all of you have different, all of you have different talents and all of you are different levels of performance or whatever. But let me just say this. Here's just some general things that you just need to keep in mind. First of all, it needs to be, everybody goes, well, it just needs to be entertaining. And what that means, it doesn't mean that it has to be crazy big and, I gotta entertain. It just means really that we would want to hear it again or see it again. It's just good, And I always say, here's the thing in talent. Once again, you don't have to win talent, but you can't lose talent. And what I mean by that is just, I guess it's the best way to put it. Just don't be bad. You know what I mean? Don't let yourself be bad. Don't push yourself. Don't do something that you have the chance of being bad. In other words, there's always kind of these things where people say, oh, well, in a pageant, if you're singing, you got to hold down a big long note. You got to have a big finish. And you got to do all this. Well, if you can't do that, then it's worse than you not doing it. I always say you can be a very mediocre singer as long as there's no bad note. Nobody goes, ooh, pitch, no, can't be pitchy. And you can be a mediocre dancer as long as you do tricks and things that you can do. If you can't do fortes, don't do them. If your leaps are like 3 inches off the ground, don't leap. Don't do something that, this is an adverse circumstance. You're nervous. You're in front of a lot of people. There's those 7 creepy people judging you. Do something that you're comfortable, that you can do. This is not the time to be, I'm going to push myself. See if I can beat it, Well, this is not the time to push yourself. It really isn't. This is the time to show them what you do best. That's the bottom line. Show them what you do best. And don't listen to people. If somebody says, well, you've got to do it, it's pageant. You've got to do it. Tell them to call me up. Okay? Because I will tell them a little thing. All right? Because that's not what it's about. It's about you doing your best. Doing what you can do best. Okay? Y'all have any specific questions about talent? For those of you who have not been to the Miss Texas pageant before, basically what happens is we have a talent rehearsal on the day that you do your talent. Okay? So if you're doing your talent on Tuesday evening, the first night of prelim, you will have your talent rehearsal in the morning, Tuesday. Okay? We'll do a sound check, and then you'll run through it one time, and then you can have either your talent coach or your director or whoever you have said you will turn in those forms and give us the name who you would like to talk with, and you will have the length of the next person's rehearsal time to talk to your person. Okay? Now, when they talk to you, this is not the time for them to re-choreograph your dance, and it's just basically to say things like, maybe you should start back just a little bit further. You know, I saw that you had trouble, you know, when you left to the right, you know, do you think you might want to start, you know, things like that? Little little itty bitty tweaks, little things. It's not, you can't redo things, you know, because it's done, you know, you're already, you're done, you know, before you get there, your talent's done. Now it's just tweaking things on our stage so that it's you know, okay? That's what that time is for. Then you'll go back and you will, and then we'll do a run through of everybody in a row. So like it would be in the show. And so we should do everybody with. So basically you get two times for talent rehearsal, okay? And we have every kind of mic that you would want, okay? If you have an instrument that, you know, we will, when you turn in your forms about props and things, if you have an instrument that needs to be amplification, any kind of amplification or anything like that, we'll need to know ahead of time so that we can make adjustments for that. Or anything like that. You have any specific questions about talent or anything that you might?
So backstage, you only get, I'm
Yes.
sorry, so backstage, you only get one person, correct? You
One
don't get
person.
Two directors.
Well, that I don't know, and it doesn't really matter. I would say that you probably just should have one. I mean, if you have two directors, I mean, it would only be if you have two directors. It wouldn't be if you have two talent coaches or anything, or if your mom and your dad want to come. Or you know, it's either two directors. If you have co-directors, that's the only rule. I will say that's it. Nobody else. You know, it's just one other person because it's not a party back there. You know, it's not a group session.
I know in the past we've asked if there could be a pianist and a pianist in one of them. They're kind of left the only people.
I
that know
know.
that.
I know. The answer's probably no. I don't know. Probably not. I say that, but maybe I can work on that. Or maybe they could bring a keyboard.
Backstage.
It's not the same with the action, though.
Yeah, you don't want to work on a keyboard right before you.
That's true.
And then will
I will work on that.
will it be the same piano that we had last year?
Yes.
Okay.
Big grand. Yeah, exactly.
From a judging perspective on the talent
Uh-huh.
section. Okay, singer.
Yeah.
Voice cracks during the song. Phenomenal singer though.
Yeah.
How is that judged?
Me as a judge, it wouldn't bother me. But I know, I'm a professional.
Okay.
Now, lawyer to my left, obviously you don't want to. Yeah, sorry. You know, but in general, I mean, even though it was that one moment, you know, if your whole presentation is wonderful and you have a moment like that, and dancer's the same, you know, you fall out of a turn, you do something, you know, it's the same. It's about the whole piece. It's not about that little moment, you know.
Okay,
Yeah,
as a
that is
dancer, where are the stairs going to be on stage?
You will not be affected by the stairs. You will have a big, large playing area. Don't worry about the stairs. Stop about the stairs. Okay. Any other questions about talent? Oh, I'm sure. I know a lot of you have not turned in your talent registration forms, and I need to have them by March 30th. And just be prepared if you know you've waited this long. There is a possibility that your selection may have already been taken. So, you know, you need to get that into me. You can either, if you have it here today, awesome, give it to me. Not now, but you can. And but you need to email it to me because it's due March 30th. And March 30th, there's no changes in talent. You can't come up to me at spring meeting. You know, my talent. You know, clock it. No, it's done. March 30th, you're done. So Madison, if you're going to be a clogger, the time is now.
No, I don't think so.
No,
I think that's the
clogging.
worst idea.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah. Oh, you have a question back there.
If we turned in the calendar about 2 weeks ago, when will we hear what
You will have already, I've already heard from me. Every email I get, I go, thank you, your talent is reserved. Thank you for shopping. Okay. All right. Evening gown. I really don't have much to say. Except, you know, this is a great moment for you to put the nail on the head for your narrative. You know. In other words, if your narrative is, you know, I'm from a single family. We didn't have a lot of money. You know, I'm taking public transportation to college, and I'm trying to get an education to better myself. And you come out in this $4,000 evening gown, you know, that kind of negates your narrative. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. You know, I mean, obviously, you know, an evening gown is an evening gown, and you're not going to really, but it should show, you know, personally, and for me, my taste, you know, people that know me well know that I don't like standard pageant dresses. I don't. But because I'm a fashion guy and I like, you know, I call them real girl dresses. But I know you guys do, and that's fine. But it should, you know, have it be who you are. You know, don't let someone say to you, you know, oh, that dress is fabulous. It costs $30,000, you know, $30,000, and it's Prada, and it's fabulous. It's got chains and it's got things. Oh, it's flawless. It's you, and you're not. It's not, you know. And you got to remember also who you represent. You know what you're doing. You're in this pageant, in the Miss Texas pageant, and who are you trying to be? You're trying to be Miss Texas, and who is Miss Texas? You know, she's someone that is, you know, accessible to everybody. She can't be this aloof thing in this, you know. So that's how I feel about it. You know, a lot of people have a lot of opinions about, you know, and it's always about the evening, you know, what guns you wear, what guns you wear, what guns you wear. You know, it's such a big deal, and it needs to look nice. You know, you need to look good, and it needs to be you. That would be my comment. You know. And it needs to fit, and it needs to show your waist. That's what I always say. You know, always make this joke that, you know, the main thing about clothing to me in pageants is about the tailoring and about the fit. And especially in the interview, you know, like I said, it's this first time for you to, this is the first time judges see you. So they need to see that you're ready. You know, they need to see you're ready in swimsuit. So I always say it needs to be something that is, you know, pretty tight fitting, so it shows them everything, you know. And more than not, I don't know why I'm standing up. More than not, oh, I know, I was going to give you an illustration. More than not, you know, you need to, you know, if you've worked hard on your body, then you need to let it be known that you have a good body, right? Okay. So I always say this. Okay, so this is third runner-up. And this is the winner, you know. So make it tight. It's about the waist, okay. I don't know why it is, but it's my experience throughout my 100 years in the pageant. Is that you can wear almost anything if that waist is like tight and put in to show them that you've got that form, you know. Okay. Speaking of clothes, let's do it. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Vanna White's passing out the information. Teacher's pets. Okay. So what I've done, and I'm extremely proud of myself. I am. Because you know, I'm extremely cool and hip, but I am technically in the computer area. But I made these iBooks all by myself.
Wow.
All by myself. Okay. All right. So let's talk about clothes. I know this will go well. Okay. What I've done, and we will pass these after we talk about all this, we'll just pass this around. What I've done is I have made a book of wardrobe samples for all of you. Because a lot of you are new and you don't know, basic kind of terminology and what kind of is appropriate. And I don't want you to come to spring meeting and feel like, oh, no, I should have done something else, or whatever. So I'm going to spell it. I've got these books for you, and it's got 2 of them. But so just pass them around. If you want to do screenshots or anything, you want to take pictures of them, feel free to. What I did is basically I got a lot of these clothes, these samples and things from our sponsors, which one of our major sponsors is Dillard, and then from some things off the Shimmer Boutique website, and then from all these are things that you can buy. All the things in here that, except for the evening gowns, are under $300. Because I like, there's no need to be spending a lot of money on anything, and I will help you. As we talk through this, I will give you some helpful hints how we can save money. Okay, so let's talk about the spring meeting. Jan calls it the spring workshop. Okay, so you will come on Friday night, and that's when you turn in your paperwork, do all your stuff. So I call that Pageant Business Casual. Okay, and you'll see what I mean by that when you look through the book. Okay, it's not interview. It's not like business. It's almost. Okay, put together, tight waist, a little bit. Okay, this will be the first time all of the directors, all the pageant volunteers see you as a group. Okay, so this is the very first moment. Okay, so hair nicely groomed and pageant business casual. Okay. Saturday day is the